Rotate your phone. You can't turn your phone while recording. Oh, good gracious. But can you?
Oh, fun! We're sideways.
Yes.
Oh gosh, should we just?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Hi, guys. I don't know if you can hear me yet, but this is very exciting. We are coming to a new set of technology, and it just goes to show how amazing that we can make this work. So bear with us while we get the camera angle a little set up correctly. Maybe I'll
Just start.
ever so slightly.
Hey. Okay, I can hold. Oh, so we want you Jessica in.
I love myself the way I am.
Okay.
There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. Well, I love you the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. Love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I've tried or done by people just like me. So till the perfect peace on earth that only love can bring, I'll help it grow by loving everything. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. A change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love myself just the way I am.
Oh my God, please, right now, step into this prayer with me as we center ourselves in that absolute knowing that there's only one power in the universe. And that power controls Facebook. So we are just so grateful that we have amazing technicians and ideas and people who can pull together today, maybe in a bit unusual way, but wow, we are here and we are live, and what an exciting day. So thank you for being here with us. Please help me anchor this prayer by saying,
And so it is.
All right. Hi, everybody. Woo! Woo! Ha! So we are going to have a special candle lighting this morning. I'm going to turn it over to Jessica as we celebrate Hanukkah.
All right. So today is the third night of Hanukkah, which is a celebration of lights. So we're going to light the menorah, but first I'm going to sing the Jewish prayer for that. So, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu echad l'pnei shel Hanukkah. Blessed are you, our God, ruler of the universe, who makes us holy through your commandments and commands us to light the Hanukkah lights. And we're complete.
That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Jessica. And tonight, I understand we light the fourth candle. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're going to change things a little bit here today. I'm going to do the sacred reading, which was written by Jane Beach. And it's titled, My Mind Holds the Key to Conscious Decisions. So in every situation, especially challenges, it's up to me, it's up to us to make a conscious decision as how I see it. My mind holds the key to acceptance and overrules the emotions that want to react to it. Instead, I can be open to learning from it, gleaning insights I may have missed from resisting the wisdom it holds. Today I choose acceptance, and I stay open to growing from each experience. Woo! It's spirit finger, everyone! So before I toss it back over to Jessica, we are just full of energy here, and so hopefully you are at home, and please, please, please join us in our purpose, vision, and mission statements. So this is our purpose, our reason for being.
To awaken and inspire love and oneness.
Our vision, what do we want to create? And what do we want to become? So we are an
Empowered, uplifting, inclusive community.
And of course, our mission, how are we going to do this? Besides by group participation, we teach
Spiritual transformation, grace, and joy.
Take it away, Jessica.
All right, everything changes, I can change too. Everything changes, I can change anything. Turning the pages, everything's new. If life's little stages are teaching me anything, it's everything changes and I can change too. Used to be when things got crazy, I'd get to feeling low, but I found out I can't let that faze me. Honey, now I know. When everything changes, I can change anything. Turning the pages, everything's new. If life's little stages are teaching me anything, it's everything changes and I can change too. Who could say why it works this way? Well, it's kind of strange, but it's true.
Oh, is it?
When everything changes, I can change anything. Turning the pages, everything's new. If life's little stages are teaching me anything, it's everything changes and I can change too. Everything changes and I can change anything. Turning the pages, everything's new. If life's little stages are teaching me anything, it's everything changes and I can change too. Everything changes and I can change too. Everything changes and I can change too.
Well, it doesn't get much better than this, you guys. I am telling you. Hi. My name is Linda Steiner, and I'm proud to announce that I'm a licensed practitioner at this center, and proud that we roll with it no matter what spirit may throw at us. So, let's talk about prayer. As you can imagine, a lot of prayer happened in this room this morning, and we've come up with an amazing solution to kind of losing our Facebook connection. But I want to talk about prayer in a different way this morning. One of the reasons that this is so much of an adventure is because Neil is not with us this morning. Yesterday, Neil's dad passed away. It was an expected death, but as most of us know, it doesn't matter whether it's expected or not. It's always a whew. So we have a special prayer. I'm asking all of you to help not only keep Neil in your heart, but especially his dad Lyle's wife of 57 years, Silky, who often joins us on these broadcasts. Because we know that prayer works. It heals, it comforts, it surrounds us. And so our congregation, those of us who are joining us on this broadcast, I know that our love going out to that family is going to make a complete difference. And I thank you. I thank you for helping us do that. So, Neil, you only get one Sunday though, bud. Okay? But prayer, if you need it, we're here. You know how to get a hold of us. You can go to our website and download your prayer request. So, but let's lighten this up a little bit. I think we've got a couple of events coming up soon. And you know that I prefer to introduce things in an interesting way. And so, I want you to listen carefully. Zoe, Jessica, and Aaron are going to help us kind of talk a little bit about the upcoming solstice celebration.
The solstice celebration is on the 21st at 6:30. If you reserve it by calling 277-5630, it will be socially distant.
Okay, how do I recap that? The 21st, Jewel Lake. We are having an outdoor ceremony that is going to be so much fun. We have figured out how to do it COVID safety. So that's why you have to call the 277-5630. You need to get your name on a list. But please, please join us that night. It's going to be full of, oh man, we're going to do some leasing and we're going to do some intentions. We're going to have so much light. We're going to dance. We're going to sing. You don't want to miss it. And for those of you, don't tell anybody, but I'm throwing in a full-size pirate ship. So come join us for this celebration. Now the other announcement that we have is we are going to be doing Christmas Eve service live on Facebook Live. And so that also is going to be Christmas Eve at 6:30. I'm looking at Rev Dawn. And so yes, so please, please, please join us for that evening. We're not going to give up anything that are traditions for us. So now I'm going to toss this back to Jessica, and then after that, we have a very special speaker today. Woohoo!
There's a heart that will never turn away. There's a love that I know is here to stay. There's a peace that will fill the world one day. And it's all inside There's a dream of a world in harmony, and it's all inside me, and I know I will find my way to the peace that is mine. All the love and the light I need wait for me here inside,
And so, today's speaker, what can I say about today's speaker? Claire Coppel is our speaker, and I could talk about just her level of education, and that she's like an amazing athlete, and man, she could cook and bake things that would make all of us like stand outside her house crying for more. But the one thing I want you to know about Claire Coppel is that I've never met someone who has such a depth of spiritual seeking. You recommend her to go read one book, and she'll come back 2 weeks later having read 20 on the subject. And so today, it's an incredibly special day in that she gets to deliver a talk that she's been working on for at least 27 books. So please welcome, for the first time to this podium, Claire Coppel. You need a hug? Okay.
I think I'm ready.
Okay, wait,
So
let's get you
okay.
turned on.
Oh, thank you. I knew I'd forget that.
Yep, there you go.
Is my hair foofed? Okay. My story is not unique. Unfortunately, like many others, my story of family dysfunction included abuse and fear. I spent many years trying to be invisible and playing small. Although I didn't have the vocabulary at that time to describe it, I now know that I suffered from PTSD for decades. I didn't trust people. If I saw someone familiar, I'd quickly cross the street, or I'd duck behind another grocery aisle in order to avoid having a conversation. I flinched if somebody approached me too quickly, and I hated hugging. Those of you that know me now are probably thinking, really? Yeah. I'm so grateful for all the healing that has happened over many years and for finding this center, which continues to heal. Growing up, it was all about trying to stay safe. I had no dreams about who or what I wanted to become. I spent a long time trying to hush my inner critic so that I could find my true voice. I've learned, today, I'd like to share some vocabulary and tools that I've learned along the way. This means I'm going to need to cover a little science. And that word science is sometimes a little intimidating. But hopefully you'll find that I have packaged this in a fun-sized candy bar.
Please.
We are, after all, a faith tradition called Science of Mind. Firstly, let's see what the science has to say about why we have an inner critic. Second, what we can do about it. And third, we're going to do a practical application to name our inner critic, to tame it. Are you familiar with that term, inner critic?
Yes.
Yeah, most of us are. This refers to the negative voices in our heads, the ones that tell us
I'm not enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not successful enough. Or even, who am I to be up here giving this talk when I'm not a licensed practitioner? You know, that voice. Have you tried, like me, to reframe or put a positive spin on it? It doesn't work very well, does it? No, that's because we immediately go back to those negative thoughts. It's like an old cassette tape playing the same song over and over. I want to tell you, it is not your fault. It is not your fault. Dawson Church describes in his new book, there you go, Linda, Bliss Brain, that wanting to change our negative thought patterns is like standing on a beach and wishing for the waves to stop. It's futile. Our brains are hardwired for negativity, and we can thank our ancestors for that. We are here because our ancestors heard the rustle in the bushes that meant the tigers were nearby. Mentally rehearsing future stuff that might harm them was a survival strategy. And then they passed those genes on to us. In contrast, happiness provided no survival value. Failure to notice a beautiful sunset or two giraffes nuzzling their necks together. Nothing bad happens. But miss the rustle of a tiger? That was lethal. So evolution, over millions of years, has honed our ability to respond to the slightest whisper of danger. Unfortunately, our survival brain does not serve us well in our modern world. We've all felt our hearts race or our stomachs clench when we can't find our car keys or we open a bill that's past due. But these minor annoyances aren't life-threatening. But our survival brain responds as though they are. Our survival brain, also known as our inner critic, is housed in areas of the brain that scientists call the default mode network. Our default mode network takes us out of the present moment and dredges up everything that has gone wrong in the past or might go wrong in the future. If that wasn't enough, the default mode network has this rich neural web connecting it with other brain regions. Thus, it busily recruits these other brain regions to go along with its whiny self-absorption.
Yeah.
For this reason, we just don't think negative thoughts. We feel them emotionally, too. In effect, the default mode network has staged a coup. It has pulled us into negative emotional states and dragged the rest of the brain along with it. There's more. For decades, scientists have wondered why our brains consume 20% of the calories it takes in, when the brain only weighs 2% of our body weight. The brain actually generates 23 watts of power, enough to light an entire room. Yeah, so it's true. We all do have an inner light. But here's the mind blower. The brain consumes 20% of our energy all the time. So regardless if we're doing higher cognitive functions like preparing a talk or creating a spreadsheet, 20%. And it also consumes 20% when we're resting. So even when we are resting on the couch, clipping our fingernails, we are consuming 20% of our energy. What this means is that even when we are doing nothing, our brains remain highly active. But now they are running in the default mode network. That's where our inner critic lives, and it's on autopilot, making us suffer. A Harvard study used nearly 2,300 volunteers and contacted them at random times. They were asked how happy they were, what they were doing, and what they were thinking. They found that these volunteers spend 47% of their time in negativity. 47% of the time. That's nearly half the day. And they are the most unhappy when they are resting. When the volunteers were engaged in activities that brought them into the present moment, things like exercise, chatting with a friend, or creating music, that's when they were their happiest. Only in the present can we find happiness. How does that resonate with you? Well, here's the good news. You were waiting for that, right? Our brains grow and change until we die. When we meditate or use mindfulness, certain parts of our brain grow, adding connections and new brain cells. At the same time, our default mode network, where our inner critic lives, because it's not being used, or being used as much, starts to shrink. Perhaps you've noticed that by consistently engaging in the spiritual principles that this center has taught us, like meditation and prayer, that your rumination has lessened over time. We can accelerate this with using mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of observing our bodily sensations, our thoughts, and our feelings with compassionate curiosity. You'll see why that's important. Instead of falling victim to our inner critic and believing all the stories it's telling us, we can be our own witness. It's often helpful to name our inner critic. This separates us from identifying with it. It reminds us that we are in control. And if you really want to get existential, our soul, our inner light, is not our inner critic. It's the one who is aware of the inner critic. I've recently started calling my inner critic Larry. Larry was actually a boy I dated once in high school. After that date, he told all his friends that I am a hopeless introvert. Nowadays, I consider myself a proud introvert. This means when I notice Larry popping in, I say, "Not now, Larry," or "I got this covered, Larry. Thank you." If we want to shut off our inner critic, we need to make a mental effort of noticing what is going on inside. Mindfulness is a practice, just like meditation, yoga, and even going to the gym. If I want my muscles to grow and stay strong, I go to the gym 3 or more times a week. knowing that if I stop, they'll quickly atrophy and grow weak. This is the same is true of my mindfulness practice. I invite you, the next time you feel upset, to try the following. Key in to your body's sensations. Typical ones are lump in the throat, chest beating, stomach constricting. The sensations of our body generally start before our inner critic starts squawking. Then notice the thoughts you are telling yourself about what happened to make you feel this way. Turn to these thoughts with compassionate curiosity, like you would do for an upset child or a crying baby. Would you get down or be mean to an upset child or crying baby? Probably not. No, you would investigate. You try to fix or soothe. Lastly, what emotion are you feeling? Is it fear, shame, embarrassment? Name it to tame it. That's how you diffuse the power of your inner critic. Try not to be tempted to deny or ignore your bodily sensations, thoughts, and feelings. Ever notice when someone invalidates our feelings, how that makes you feel? Linda, don't get upset about the sound today. It's okay. Bob, you shouldn't be sad. It'll pass. Yeah, like that. Ever notice that when someone does that, your feelings just become even more intense? Self-invalidation works the same way. Every emotion that you deny will return, and often louder. Because every emotion is a messenger trying to deliver important information. The poet Rumi wrote, "Don't turn away. Keep your gaze on the bandaged place. That's where the light enters you." Once our stress reaction is triggered and adrenaline and cortisol are released, we can't stop it. It takes 90 seconds for the chemical stream to run through our bodies. This is why being mindful is critical to help prevent another highly negative emotion from bringing on the same cascade over again. These difficult emotions are literally energy and chemicals moving through our minds and bodies. We can't stop the waves, but we can learn to surf them using mindfulness. John Kerry et al. Of the Nonviolent Communication Movement uses an acronym to help us remember this. I don't know, guys, do we have a slide of that? Well, we might, and we might not. Okay, that's good too. His acronym is OFNR. O is for observation. Observe your bodily sensations and thoughts. That's our story. F is for feelings or emotions. We consider those roughly the same. No emotion is ever wrong or bad. It's just a messenger that can give us insight as to what needs are unmet. N is for needs. What are my needs? Do I need to feel loved? Do I need to feel included? Do I need to feel recognized? These are universal human needs. R is for request. What requests do I have for myself, or perhaps for someone else? Here's an example that happened recently to me at work. I was called into my manager's office and asked to sit down. My manager told me that my productivity was not acceptable. I was not billing enough, and this could not continue. He did, however, think it was not my fault. But in order to correct this, I would have to change my schedule. My schedule would change from working 2 long days to working 4 shorter ones, but with commute and all the extra charting time, I'd be working a lot more. So immediately, I observed that my heart was beating out of my chest and I could barely breathe. And my thoughts, oh my God, there is no way I'm gonna work more days and more hours in this soul-crushing job. Feelings, I'm scared. Needs, I need security. I need health care. I need a paycheck. Request, okay, Claire, keep breathing, stay calm, and don't react. For the entire 20-minute conversation, I kept recycling through O, F, and R. O, F, and R. I think my manager was very surprised at my non-reaction. When he asked me for my feedback, I told him, I'll think about it.
Woo!
I'm going to invite you to experience this for yourself. Please put aside anything that might distract you and close your eyes. Everybody closing their eyes? Okay, just check. While your eyes remain closed, try to think of the last time you were in an upsetting conversation or an upsetting situation. What was going on or being discussed? Let's begin with observation. Try to remember the sensations you were feeling in your body. Are they in your throat, your chest, your stomach, or someplace else? Feelings. What were your feelings or emotions? Just notice them without judging. What need of yours was trying to be met? Request is the hardest. But what request might you have had of yourself or perhaps of somebody else? Now open your eyes. You've just named it to tame it. If you commit to doing this every day, you will rewire your brain. Now, initially you might not catch yourself in the moment to do O, F, and R. But even doing it after the fact will be hugely beneficial in starting the process of rewiring your brain. Renowned Renowned psychologist Dennis Waitley, who has worked with scores of high-level athletes and even astronauts, says that it takes consistent daily practice that may take up to a year to change a habit into a habitual one. This may not be a quick fix, my friends, but it is so doable. In closing, if we choose not to retrain our brains, they will remain the same. However, we can rewire our survival brain that is still looking for the tigers and teach it to look for the beautiful sunsets. Holocaust survivor Edith Edgar challenges us to escape the prisons of our own minds. We're at choice to rewire our brains so that we can shine our light so much brighter, so we can become who we are meant to be. We all have the keys to our jail cells in our pockets. By using mindfulness, let's unlock the doors and set ourselves free. Thank you.
And so it is from this awareness of our inner critic and the concept that we are greater than, that we can see beyond the rustle of the tiger, that I invite my colleagues, the practitioners, to join me, those in this room as well as those throughout the city of Anchorage, wherever on this globe. I invite them to join me in holding our congregation in love and light, knowing that as we go through this thing called life, that we are presented with and we are given an inner critic to save us from the rustle of the tiger. But we have also been given a brain. We have been given this wonderful thing that allows us to know that as we rest in our cave, we are safe from the tiger. That we are greater than those things that we assign value to. So we can see beyond the rustle of the tiger of lack and limitation and not enoughness, and know that there is an abundant universe at our feet. The ability to see beyond the rustle of the tiger of dis-ease and know that dis-ease is indeed real. But beyond that, each and every one of us is made in the image and likeness of perfection, and each and every one of us has within us a magnificent, perfect blueprint. But most importantly, we can see beyond the rustle of the tiger of separation. Separation from one another and separation from God. And know that we can never be separate from God. That is a paper tiger. That infinite presence is indeed with us in every situation. Every relationship is based and founded on the very love of God. And so we just give thanks. We give thanks for our awareness of the power and the presence of God in our lives and in who we are. So now we can just step back and with confidence and poise, we can face this thing called life and put our inner critic in the place that it belongs. So we just give thanks, we let it go, we let it be, and so it is.
And so it is.
judgment's healing. It's time for revealing. Being yourself is brave. You are yourself, and that's brave. You aren't imperfect, you're brave. Just as you are both the light and the dark sides, you aren't imperfect, you're brave. 'Cause being yourself is brave. Let it all come out. Let yourself cry, scream, and shout. Your feelings are perfect, just know you are worth it. Being yourself is brave. And feeling your feelings is brave. Your sadness and fears, your worries and tears, they all hold the fullness of you. Just as you are both the light and the dark sides, you aren't imperfect, you're brave. 'Cause being yourself is brave. You aren't imperfect, you're brave. 'Cause being yourself, that's brave.
No matter how bleak things can be, when we see Zoe and her enthusiasm and love for life, it's difficult to be down. Thank you, ladies. So this is a time in the service where we are afforded the opportunity to participate in one of the laws of circulation. That's the law of circulation, one of our spiritual practices. Before I do that, while you're preparing your gifts and tithes and offerings, I'd like to recognize some of the people that are on Facebook this morning. Kier is there. Beverly Churchill, Barb Taylor, the crusher of Christmas Jeopardy. Tiffany and Neil, Nanetta, Kathy Sarnes from Homer, Luann, Kyle Ryan from the Valley. Good to see you, Kyle. Judy Wolf, Shelley Jean. I don't know Shelley Jean.
She's new.
Robert Wallace, Cynthia George, Beulah from Kotlik, Reverend Linda, Jean Kowarski from Arizona. Look at that, we're going all the way from Kotlik to Arizona. Mark Wolgamuth, John Stab, good to see you, John. Joan Heidel, and I'm sure there's others on there. And it's so refreshing to see the names of people that I don't recognize. So I just wanted to honor you, and here comes the basket. Oh boy, I'm going to get killed with it today. Uh-oh, there might not be a... Well, there's one affirmation left. And I can't read it. Let's do our affirmation. Divine love
Through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is.
Many thanks to Claire for the wonderful talk.
You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that you make, reason you live, it's found in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things.
much. And in a day of amazing things happening, there's one person that we all need to thank, and that's Judith Mack, because she has been holding the phone for this entire service. She thought she was walking in today, having a seat and write down some names, but she turned out to be amazing, so thank you.
You're welcome.
And a special thanks to Midnight, because he did not panic once today. So in closing, as we walk through our days of mindfulness, waving occasionally to the Larrys in our life, let's OFNR. Let's observe our body and our thoughts. Hey, what am I feeling? What do I need? And last, what should I request for myself or others? So let's be grateful for another tool to put into our spiritual toolbox, because we really are the light of the world. And so it is.
And so it is.
Shine your light, let your love be bold and bright. A flame of light so darkness night, shine your light. Be the best that you can be, shine for all humanity. Love your neighbor, you and me, shine your light.
For our affirmation today, I commit to retraining my brain
I commit to retraining my brain
so that my light shines more brightly.
so that my light shines more brightly.